wireless system that could gracefully support a variety of some somewhat tricky applications, Meditech, computerized physician order entry, a bedside medication verification application, which is obviously very important in terms of improving patient outcomes and making sure that accidental drug overdoses don't take place. Basic internet access, a picture archiving system that allows doctors to receive X-rays in near real time, and a telemetry system for tracking patients. And these applications, any of you who've implemented them know, a lot of them they're not very they're quite latency sensitive, and they're sessioned applications, and a fluctuation in wireless signal could cause the session to drop, and that's a real drain on productivity. So why did they look at Extricom? The director of IT gave the wireless admin what she called the elevator challenge, which is that their staff would transition from floor to floor on elevators, all the while running the applications I mentioned above on their PDAs or laptops or whatever. And they were, as you know, elevators are not a very ideal environment for propagating wireless signal. And they needed something that was really resilient enough that the elevators, the short ride in the elevator would not cause a session to drop, and which would result in a nurse coming back to the IT guy saying, "What's wrong with my PDA?" So that was something that by using by leveraging this overlapping signal, they were able to get adequate wireless signal to, even into something as challenging as an elevator. The other issue that they looked to address with Extricom was using the multiple layers to separate out applications that might conflict, such as data and voice, onto their own separate, not different networks so much as their own separate channel blanket for quality of service reasons. And then finally, the whole issue of being able to densely deploy APs to deal with coverage in difficult environments, like a radiology lab, where there's a lot of metal and there's lead lining in the wall sometimes, which makes wireless signal propagation very, very difficult. And the ability to sort of cram together APs without co-channel interference. So that was those were what sold Palo Pinto on Extricom solution. Our next case study is pretty unusual in that it's not so much an end customer as a vendor that markets or has designed and implements a warehouse mobile fulfillment system called Kiva Systems. And for this, I'm going to hand the mic back over to Phil. Phil had extensive involvement with Kiva, and he'll give you a little good background on what they did. Phil?
Okay, great. Yeah, it's my favorite case study as well. And Dan, I wonder if at some point, if you want to be adventurous, can you just play one of those videos while I'm talking, because a picture's worth 1,000 words. But anyway, this is a case where Kiva Systems actually embedded the Extricom infrastructure inside their product. And what they sell is a mobile fulfillment system. And it's a way to automate a warehouse. They're a typical customer. One of their big customers is Zappos, an online retailer of mostly shoes. And so that's a scenario. It's a very large warehouse. They have thousands of SKUs, and they do all their commerce online, and accuracy and speed of response is very key. And this mobile fulfillment system has dramatic improvements in all of those areas. Basically, what it does is it totally reorganizes the warehouse so that you have someone who's shipping out the product they stand in the same place at the shipping dock. They have a box, and the inventory comes to them. And so they get orders, and they fill orders by, the racks of inventory are actually moved to them, and then they pick out an item from and put it in the shipping box, move on to the next one. How is it done? It's done through a system of mobile robots, and this is what maybe, if we're lucky, Dan's going to get up on
Yeah.
video. It's on the Extricom website. It's in the multimedia section, and Dan's going to show it. So hopefully the technology won't fail us here. But, they have their robots are they move around on the floor. They're about, I don't know, 8 to 12 inches tall. And as this video goes along, you'll see these orange things on the floor, and that is the Kiva robot, and it actually picks up the rack that has the inventory on it and moves it around. And there it is. And so you have those things. They're less than a foot high. They're sitting on the floor of the warehouse, and they move around the racks. From a wireless point of view, it's a very challenging system. You have the wireless LAN infrastructure. It's on the ceiling, and then these guys are down on the floor. And what you can see very clearly in this video, you have no idea what's in between them. On that rack could be shoes, it could be diapers, it could be golf clubs. Who knows what it is? And many of those things would be an impairment to the signal. So one of the beautiful things, and one of the reasons why I love this case study, is it shows one of the key value propositions of the Extricom solution, which is the resilience and the robustness to interference, and the fact that our system will work in a very harsh environment. The Kiva system operates at 5 gigahertz, and the reason that they do that is because they may install this in a situation where that warehouse, that retailer, may have another legacy wireless LAN from, who knows, maybe 10 years ago, operating usually in the 2.4 band. And so they wanted to just not interact with the old systems at all. So they use 5 gigahertz. That makes it even more difficult. That's the picture that we just saw. That was a top-down view of the warehouse. The other reason that I like this is that Kiva essentially is like the litmus test that will show you the difference between the Extricom solution and conventional wireless LANs. So they chose Extricom over the typical other solutions. Symbol / now Motorola would be a normal warehouse solution. They were one, Cisco was another one. The problem that they had with those conventional systems was that the signal between the robots and the system would be interrupted. And what the robots do when they lose signal is they stop. And so what they were getting was hundreds and hundreds of stops per day, which would really mess up their mobile fulfillment system. So when they put in the Extricom system, even initially without any tweaking at all, they had maybe 1 stop a day, and then we were able to tweak it so that now they don't have any interruptions in the service. And actually, Kiva sells their system with kind of a service level guarantee, so this was very crucial to the success of their product. And so, as I said, it's really illustrating 2 things about the Extricom product. One is their robust operation in a very harsh environment. The other thing is this seamless mobility. So anywhere within the channel blanket, there's no roaming. And so that was another thing. In our system, there's no roaming. It was very seamless, very fast. And so there was never an interruption of